Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Joy from She Speaks Too. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you subscribe. Push that subscribe button, like, share this video. How y'all doing? Oh, it's been a while. I took a break. I didn't even know I was taking a break until I realized that I hadn't filmed in a couple of weeks. But yeah, I'm back and I just wanted to talk to you guys. I hope everyone is having a great month of March thus far. And so let us begin. So today I'm coming with some sad news, my people. I recently found out that Air France is pulling out of Liberia. Now, I have never flown Air France. I just never have, but from the people that I've known that have flown them, they have always had issues. For instance, their flights have been canceled. I had one friend who was like a family member, was flying back to Liberia for his father's funeral. He bought his ticket. His flight was just canceled. He had to call to reschedule, rebook. They could refund his money, but it would be 30 days if he wanted a refund. So he just he had the money to buy another ticket with another airline. But if he hadn't had, he would have been at the mercy of Air France because it would have been 30 days for him to get his money back. And that just recently happened to someone else. They booked the flight. The next day after booking the flight, they got a cancellation notice that their flight was canceled and they needed to call Air France. So I have just always heard about these cancellations. I've never used them. I've always flown Brussels. Okay, so the person whose flight was canceled the next day was my husband. He said I can put his business out there, so that was him. So anyway, he bought his ticket. The flight was canceled. He bought his ticket. Let's say he bought it on Tuesday. Wednesday, he get a cancellation notice that his flight was canceled. I'm like, you just took his money and booked his flight. How can it be canceled the next day? So needless to say, he had to call and reschedule. But if he was coming to see me for something romantical or something important, he could have missed this because of Air France. So after he bought his ticket, it was canceled. He was rescheduled. He got notice that Air France would stop flying to Liberia on March 28th. But his ticket to return is after March 28th. How do you cancel, say you're not going to be flying into the country, but yet you take someone's money before the fact and know that you're not going to be going after this date? Because that decision was not just made overnight. This was a work in progress. So let's talk about it. So this is from Front Page Africa. It says the French airliner is reportedly cutting off service as of March 28 due to poor quality of services at Robertsfield International Airport, which includes a dark runway, lack of electricity at the airport, and bad jet fuel being supplied, all of which put planes and passengers at risk. That's a lot of things that they're saying the reason they're cutting off services. They're saying dark runway, which the runway should not be dark. We all know that for safety reasons. Lack of electricity at the airport. I have been to the airport many times. I've never had lack of electricity, but I guess it's possible. Maybe LEC or the generator, I don't know, but I've never seen that. And bad jet fuel being supplied, all of which put passengers and planes at risk. So, and then they say these challenges faced by the airline has been compounded by the crisis in Mali. So if you don't know, Mali has had a military mutiny in 2020. And then in May of 2021, there was a coup. And so I guess because of the instability with Mali, that also, and then with what's going on in Liberia, that made it easier for them to make their decision to pull out of Liberia. According to the source, the airline's operation in Liberia is not viable without Mali. And then we know in January, Air France left hundreds of passengers stranded at the airport for 2 days in a row due to technical faults on the plane and poor quality of jet fuel. If you don't know that, a lot of Liberians were stuck at the airport. They didn't leave because they didn't know when they weren't getting updates. They didn't know when the plane was finally going to come because it diverted to Ivory Coast because of bad fuel or whatever they said it was. And so they stayed at the airport for 2 days before they were able to finally leave. And it was chaos. There are videos about that on YouTube. Just wanted to add that this is not Air France's first time pulling out of Liberia. They're quick to pull out. During the Ebola crisis, they pulled out. During the when Corona first happened, they pulled out also. So they're quick to pull out of Liberia. But what does that mean for us? This means that basically Brussels and Air Morocco, if Air Morocco is still going to Liberia, and then Brussels, Air Morocco are basically our only options, and now they can charge us anything that they want because there is lack of competition. There was a time that Delta was coming to Liberia, Delta left, KLM, all these places, all these airlines have left, and now Brussels, Air Morocco can increase their prices, and we're at their mercy. Now, there is an option to go to Ghana, and it's usually Kenyan Airways. Go to Ghana with Kenyan Airways and get Delta from Ghana to America. But as soon as Kenyan Airways knows that there's an influx of people doing that, they're going to raise their prices also. Another thing is that if Air France is saying that all these things are safety issues, then does it really matter which airline we fly? Are we really putting our lives at risk? Is it too dangerous to fly into Liberia? We need to think about that. So if Air France is saying we have to pull out because of these issues, does it matter if you fly in with Brussels? Does it matter if you fly in with Kenyan Airways? Are we really putting our lives at risk? Is our runway that bad? Lack of electricity, bad jet fuel? Are we really taking a risk by doing that? I think we need to look into that and really start asking questions like, what can be done better to ensure that we have more flight options going to Liberia? For me, it is just not fair. I don't want to pay $3,000 to fly to my country where people can go to Ghana top for $1,200 or less, and I'm paying $3,000, and we're not next door neighbors, but we're in West Africa. It's not fair. Just give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think about our lack of options, our pricing to fly to Liberia, the safety of the runways, what can be done better. Have you flown Air France? Have you had problems? Do you have problems with Brussels? What do you guys think about the fact that another airline, big major airliner, is pulling out of Liberia? What do you think about our lack of options at this point? This is Joy from She Speaks Too. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you later.